What's good, good people? Welcome to hashtag My Be More Project. What's the 410? Where we stand in the gap of the news you can use and the positive stories our spirits need. I'm your host, Dion Joyner Weems. It's like a tribe called Quest. You got to say it all together. And though I wear many hats, they all sit on top of the same mission to uplift, amplify, and empower Baltimore's truth tellers and change makers. Whether that's through hashtag My Be More Project, my book, That Part, What Some Know But Won't Tell You About Motherhood, or as the CEO of Audacity Group, a global marketing shop, we tell bold stories. And in 2022, we did a listening session and we found out what you and I already know. People trust people more than they do a system. That's why we center the voices of the people on the ground doing the work, like Bryan Robinson, founder and creative director of the Black Genius Art Show. Let's bring him up. Hey, Bryan. Ooh,
Hey, what's up, Dion? How you doing?
I'm so excited. So just to put it out there, when I say I'm a fan, like Bryan is like a brother to me. I am so proud of this man. Bryan, before we jump into the questions, I want to do your bio. Okay. And this is more of like giving you verbal flowers. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Give them to me. I'm gonna smell
Bryan Robinson is a cultural architect who sees genius in the everyday and dares to frame it. As founder of the Black Genius Art Show, he curates more than exhibits. He builds experiences that honor creativity, spark dialogue, and center connection. With a designer's eye and a strategist's mind, Bryan transforms space into story, offering artists, audiences, and ideas a place to belong. His work invites reflection without exclusion, bridging disciplines and people with ease. Rooted in Baltimore, but resonating far beyond it, Bryan doesn't just showcase genius, he cultivates it. That's Bryan Robinson. How is that?
I'm gonna copy and paste that and use it all over the world. That was awesome. Yes.
Okay.
That
Um,
was good.
and it's sincere, Bryan. With love. All right. So
Yes.
okay, questions are coming, but we have this little segment that gives viewers a taste of the personality behind the position, and we call it They Ate. Okay. So I'm going to ask you 8 rapid fire questions that you're not supposed to sit here and think about. You just answer. No, just answer them as they come. All right.
So what? It's a one word answer or just whatever? Real quick
It's
answers.
whatever. It's
Okay.
whatever, but just let
Let me
it
sit
flow.
up. Let me sit up for this. All right.
Take
I'm
a deep
ready.
breath. Ain't that serious? All right. Crab cake, fried or broiled?
Fried.
Nickname your parents or friends call you.
Grasshopper.
Name one song on your get pumped, amped, fired up playlist when you need to get.
Some Project Pack. Anything
Ooh.
about Project Pack.
Oh, okay. What color describes your current season of life?
Ooh. Yellows and golds. Yellow. Golden yellows.
Golden
See?
yellows. That's beautiful. I love it. Would you survive a zombie apocalypse?
Absolutely. I'm going to start the cannibalism group. So I'm already prepared for that.
Okay. What's what is your creative kryptonite? What kills your vibe?
Negative energy.
Negative energy. I was going to say Zoom calls, but I'm like, all right, regular
No.
energy.
People with attitudes.
I
Yeah,
feel
people
you.
with
Okay.
attitudes.
Is it wrong for a vegetarian to eat animal crackers? What say you?
Absolutely not. They should eat all the
Okay.
animal crackers they can. They should
Okay.
eat fried animal crackers.
Last question. If you had 25 hours in a day, what would you do with the extra hour?
Too much.
That's
Too much. Let me see. The extra hour, what would I do? Hmm. I would probably sit still. I would use the extra hour to sit still because the rest of the hours I'm moving and jumping around. So I think the extra hour would be a good hour of just rest, just to take it all in. Yeah, I
That is
need
beautiful.
25.
I understand that, to be still. Okay. With that, let's talk. You call it the Black Genius Art Show, but your vision reaches far beyond a single label. What's the deeper message behind the name and the movement, Bryan?
It's adapted now to connections. When I did the show, it was to basically extend the whole idea of like what I enjoy doing was animation, but now I
Mhm.
see it's grown bigger than that. It's grown to like it's like a feeling, and I see it in people. I hear it in people. So it's now grown to where I feel like it's needed in communities. So it's more of a connecting piece now than anything. Some people can think it's a gallery, but it's so much bigger than that now. It's built family, it's built friends, it's built inspiration, and it's changed people's lives.
You
No?
know what's funny in asking you this question? I should have led with, can you describe the space? Because I think that would help
Yeah.
frame what you're
It's
saying.
go now. Want me to go?
Yeah.
Describe the place, the gallery space.
Yeah, like because when you say connection and how it's evolved, I think it even helps in knowing how the space flows.
Yeah, the space. Well, it started. The brand started with outside connections to community. So just try to share what art was to me personally. So it started outside events from small parks, churches, parking lots, and it's grown to bigger festivals. And then it resonated into a gallery space. And that same connection from people in the community is still in the gallery space, but it radiates throughout the community. So it's located on Utah Street. So a lot of activity, a lot of character on Utah Street.
Mhm.
So the thing about the gallery, when you come by it, you hear like, I didn't even know this was here. I didn't know it was here. You know why I didn't know it was here? Because it has a different feel. It doesn't feel like the normal thing in that neighborhood. So it's not the fact you didn't know it was here, that you didn't know that feeling could be there. And that's what I'm starting to realize now when I hear that comment. Because we put velvet ropes outside. So when you come in, it's like you're walking to something different. You're walking into a lot of people say it's like you walk into my mind, but actually it's the mind of a lot of artists that have been my friends and new people that I've met. And then from those connections, I leave them in the gallery space. So you come in, you'll smell different. You'll see art, of course, but it definitely gives off, it radiates a different kind of energy that's bigger than the art. It's like family. It's like you want to stay longer than you have to.
Yeah.
Whether you spend money or not, you're like, oh, this is different. And it's something that people go and tell other people about. And just walking through the city, you would hear, "Hey, genius! Hey, black genius!" And it's like I don't call myself that, but that's what the brand does. It creates this energy where people want to connect and people want to be a part of it, um, and it feels good. It feels good. It feels good. Feels good to want to get there, to want to just be in that space. And sometimes we leave the door open so that energy inside can like flow into the community. And
Yeah.
it's accessible. So it's a gallery that's accessible for everybody. So yeah, that's what
So
it is.
keeping in and you described that very well, and keeping with that theme, what's a moment during a past show, or this is time for you to like to reflect,
Hmm.
that made you stop in your tracks and you realize that this is so much bigger than me? Like,
Yeah. Um. So we just had a show. Shucks. When was Saturday? We had a show Saturday. But in the weeks prior to that, this is just people coming to the shop. It's a young man. I won't give his name out, but a young man. He was just, just out of prison, so he's trying to get back in the workforce and things like that. And of course, he came to the shop, and we small talk. I like the spot. I feel this is nice. It's nice. And then we start sharing information. Like the thing about the spot is it makes people vulnerable to tell their story. So that's how I knew he was recently released from prison. But when he came in, he was showing his art and what he likes to do. And it hasn't even been a month, and this young man, his art was in our recent show on Saturday. And in the process of that, he's in the show with friends I've been knowing for over 10 years. He's in the show with artists who've been doing work all over the region. And
wow.
he's just showing me his work on a cell phone. and I'm looking at, oh, I like his work, and I'm the type of person like, bring it through, put it in the show. You know what I'm saying? You don't need no resume, you don't got to apply, you don't need no application fee. But his energy and wanting to be a part of it, that was the application. So the days prior, a lot of artists come for their installations, and they're coming there trying to paint, hang up their work. And I'm hearing about his stories coming to the gallery. Like he just got a job at the Dollar General or store like that. So he's happy that he's working. But now he's telling like, my mom, yeah, I left out the house, and my mom said, I'm happy you going to that space. You know what I'm saying? And his mother was happy for him to be in that environment of sharing his artwork or wanting to come to an art gallery opposed to his life previously before he met me. So just hearing stuff like that, it's like that's how you know it's bigger than the gallery, and that's how you know you're doing the right thing, and it makes you be like, yep, that's what it's all about. And yeah, and that guy's works in the show right now. In fact, when we did the promos, he's the first name I put on my list of artists. You know what I'm saying? And his name is Amir, the artist. I'm put his business out there because
yeah, Amir. I have one of my twins named Amir, so that's powerful. It's interesting because I've been, Dion talks a lot. I talk a lot, and I've read what.
That's okay. It's okay.
Okay. As I was saying, but what I recognized in 2025 is that you can use words so much, the same word over and over and over again, to the point that you forget the feeling of the word. So connection. Everyone talks about connection. But what you just explained was someone coming from a space and his mother being happy that he's connected with something and a nucleus of something positive that can inspire. So I'm proud of you. So here's the thing. I know that you bring together, artists, thinkers, dreamers across all the disciplines. I wanted to understand from you, what does genius look like to you in everyday life?
It looks like a shifting of like environments. It looks like feeling somebody's presence. It looks like being transparent in who you are. Like if you come to my shop, I'll tell you all my business. You know what I'm saying? And I want that back from the other person. It's being accepted for your ideas, whether good or bad. That's a great question. What does genius look like? It looks like something. You can hear it, you can feel it. So sometimes it can be visual. You know what I'm saying? It's just being in the moment, using what's around you to elevate you to another level. Yeah.
Whoa! What you prompted me in thinking. To me, genius is God. No, I'm saying it, like real, that inspired feeling comes from a source. So when you think about genius, then that would make sense to me. But what you've landed on though is you're so authentic, and I'm curious, how do you, because you're a business owner now, like you're creative, but you're still in this world of business. And for many small business owners, this could be a challenge. Like, what have you learned about turning your creative vision into like a sustainable business?
What have I learned is to be myself, show up as my true self. You heard that comment before, and you hear it a lot, but a lot of people don't. So I show up as my true self, and when you think about a creative or artist, it's using those God-given gifts, and then it's not so much as using them, but also how is the word? Being willing to share those gifts as well. So doing that as a kid, sharing your work, everybody ain't gonna like it. That's the truth. And then when you start taking that and being so open to sharing yourself with everybody around the community, and then with the internet now, I share myself with a lot of people.
Mm.
To the point where I would go places, not know people, but they would approach me with so much energy, like, hey, but I gotta be my true self. You know what I'm saying? I gotta be open and willing to accept these greetings and these accolades, because when you're not supposed to praise yourself. You know what I'm saying? So when people say, I love your work, I accept that, and it makes me proud to know that even if I don't know this person, that feeling of what I'm putting out there and being my genuine self, it's being spread further than I even know. And that's why it's important for me to really represent my art, myself, my gifts, and pray about it too, because you go in some environments where your energy is not always going to be accepted. So it can be difficult sometimes, because people put out what, who they think you are, and sometimes
Mm.
it's from what they see and not from what they feel. So a lot of
Mm.
people around me, to really know me, you got to be around me, you know what I'm saying? And really know that the energy I put out there on the internet, on Facebook, or posts, or when I'm at shows, it's the same thing you're going to get when you're in my face or around my family. I'm going to treat you the same way.
So,
Yeah.
in thinking about that, has there ever been a time that you had to pivot or say no to something that didn't,
Yeah.
align with your vision or your values?
Yeah, and a lot. When you're having fun doing what you love, you want to be into different things. You want to say, yeah, this is fun, this is that, and just share. But then sometimes you got to know when that environment is not for you. And it took me, just recently, this happened to me, where I went to a space where normally I would go in there, flow around, put my work up, share, smile, and then go back home. But this energy, it wasn't, I didn't feel like I was accepted. You know what I'm saying? It didn't feel welcoming to me. And
Mm.
that's when I had to take my pivot and say, you know what, this ain't for me. And you have to grow to get that kind of discernment, because
Mm.
a lot of artists
Word.
would get in a lot of artists get in those situations. It would deter them. It would make them stop wanting to create, make them stop wanting to share. So knowing who you are and your value and what you bring when you walk into a room is important. And when I go into a room and I don't feel like I'm needed, or not even needed, but I don't feel like I'm accepted or welcome, and it don't feel like, yeah, a safe space to share, then that
Safe
ain't a
space.
space for me. Yeah,
Receive.
I'm a
Receive. That's
pivot. I'm a pivot on you now.
uh, do it, Bryan. How do you, so with that in mind,
Hmm.
what's your formula? How do you choose the artists that you work with? Like, what are the qualities that draw you to collaborate?
Yeah, it's conversation, like having that conversation, and being just, it don't even have to be about art. You know what I'm saying? Just have a conversation. So if I meet somebody for the first time, like, hey, how do I get my work into your space? Let me see your work. What kind of stuff you like doing? We have a conversation. Then you can kind of feel that. Like, I can feel people's energy. You know what I'm saying? I can feel what they
Yeah.
want. Um, and like I said, that discernment kicks in, and you got to pray about that stuff. So it's basically that. I'm not a difficult person to get along with. You know what I'm
You're
saying?
not. You're
And
not.
if I feel any kind of tension with my personality, I'm like, yeah, this probably ain't the ain't the spot. But that's how it starts. It just starts with conversation. If that person is a genuine, true person, and we connect, and it is what it is. I hardly put out a lot of artist calls. A lot of guys do like artist calls and things like that. I might have done two and a half, but I'm starting to do that more, because when you do that, you get flooded with all kind of people with all kind of intentions. So it can be hard. It can be overwhelming. But a lot of my artists and shows we've done, believe it or not, have been just people stumbling upon the shop. It's been people I've been knowing for years. It's been artists I just met. It's been people who referred them to me. And then when they come in and they feel the vibes, then we vibe together and make magic happen. Yeah.
So it's knowing that for small business owners, especially creatives, gaining visibility is hard. It can be difficult. So as I listen to you, or as others listen to you, how did you build, or how did you build the momentum for people to get behind your idea?
Yeah, consistency, just consistency. Oh my God, consistency. Um, and also not being afraid to hear the word no. If I didn't get the word no's, I wouldn't know how to open doors and kick down gates. Because when I was a young artist, I didn't have people who look like me that can give me a key to open the door, give me a space. I had to find resources, maybe rent it out, not understand what I was getting involved in. So being in a position now, taking all those no's and all those situations where, oh, I got to qualify, I got to apply to this. I try to make it as simple as possible for the next person after me. So yeah, it was definitely the no's and sometimes not even having the business ethics to even invest
Mm.
in art or yeah, I just had to open my mind up and just expand um, my territory in a sense. And I always thought bigger as a creative. As a kid, if you told me as an 8-year-old kid, will you have a space where other artists can come and create and have fun and do stuff all over the nation, I would say yes. I would have believed that because that's what I wanted as a kid. I wanted to be free to create and also be free to create a place where other people that were like me, that it felt all the same. And now, you know what I call this? I call this Gotham City. I'm in downtown Baltimore. I call it Gotham City. And whoever's around me, we all superheroes in this. And that's how I look at it now. Yep. And that came from a lot of no's, gatekeepers, people who had the lock on things. So as an artist, guess what we can do? We can build our own bridges, and we can create ways around that stuff. And that's what I do. And if I feel somebody building gates or stuff like that, you know what I do? I seek them out and I try to find ways to knock them down. That's my mission because I'm Batman.
No, but the thing is, so bringing it back to Baltimore, because
Mm-hmm.
that's art can inspire, it can disrupt, it can, connect. When we're talking
Yeah.
about Baltimore City, how do you view art in
Mm.
shaping a destination, our space, our city?
Yeah, I'm a product of it, you know. So it's like you got to have that Baltimore inside you first of all, and you got to know how your city moves. Oh Lord, you got to know how it moves. 'Cause it's a city. It's definitely a city. So East Baltimore, like I'm born over east, down there where you can't ride through the alleyways, you know. So that my mom's still there, my aunt, and a couple more people. And the thing about it is that's what birthed that creative person in me. Is that it was like playing with friends, you know, in alleys. That was beauty to me. You know what I'm saying? Vacant buildings, the marble steps, all this built me up as an artist to create. I didn't know what grass was for years until we had concrete sidewalks. You know what I'm saying? So we used to go to Clifton Park. So I knew like my neighborhood was bigger than what it was with limited resources. We had a corner store, concrete. We was flipping on mattresses. All that stuff is what I grew up on. You know what I'm saying? I found beauty in that, and and that's what made me the creative I am now. Because once you start to explore and see it's more than just your neighborhood, you take all that and then you make it look better. You know what I'm saying? You take all that and you just know what you came from, and you can always make it better. And I thank my neighborhood, the 1600 block of Wolf Street. That's what made me the artist I am. And once I start catching the bus and going places and find out these poets exist and underground MCs exist, and these people were creating these, I didn't need television. I was going to the poetry spots and hip hop spots, and that's what opened the door for me as an artist to know that it's more out there to explore. And then once I started getting the cameras in my hand and painting pictures with video cameras and paintbrushes, I knew the power of art, and I knew how I can shift any neighborhood around the city. And you look at it now, that's all they're doing now is taking art to bring life to spaces. And
Yeah.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
well, Bryan, it's interesting because I did not meet you through art. I met you as an educator.
mm-hmm.
Um, so can you speak to how your working with youth, being a teacher in Baltimore City schools, how
Yeah.
that shapes your art, and what has it done for the young people around you, or what does it do for the young people around you?
Yeah, so that's almost went to the brand. I work with everything from the high school setting down to the pre-K. So when you look at the age differences, my last grade was pre-K, and that's what kept me youthful, and it gave me ideas. So a lot of this working with kids of all different ages, I can put into my art. You hear their stories, things you can relate to. And it was years when I first started education. I wasn't wearing my clothes and fun clothes. I was wearing ties and button ups and stuff like that. But as art started to really transition my life, and I took it as the way I breathe, I
Mm.
will wear that to these schools. I would wear my art to the different schools I go to, from the day schools through the Baltimore City school system to like art initiatives I was doing throughout the city. It was one point where I would teach in the daytime, that I would go to 3 different schools in the evenings and do everything from arts and craft, video production, to the point where I wasn't doing my own personal art. I was giving it all back to the kids. And yeah, but it was that process that the brand was being molded. That's where that, when you look at the name of it, that genius part comes into there, that educational component comes into that. And now you get that patience. You work with pre-K kids, you have patience out of this world. So it's like you take that same energy from the youth and knowing what their needs are, and knowing how to work with kids who were afraid to express themselves in classrooms, and you can shift that classroom and make them be the group leader. You know what I'm saying? The kid who wouldn't raise their hand, who had to hit on their desk like this. Those are the kids you target, because those are the ones just trying to bottle up all that energy, all that creativity, and they're scared to share it. And I've been in that situation. So once you target that, the rest going to follow. And then before you know, you got all these creative group leaders in your classes. I can go in classes now and just sit there like this and watch them do everything, because it's free and it's creative, and they're not afraid to express themselves. And like I said, with that same patience, you deal with adults with the same energy. So you borrow from that. So I can talk to any kind of artist. I can talk to these different energies all over the world, because it's like you have that patience, you have understanding, and then, yeah, that's all I got.
Now, so in thinking about your evolution, because the thing is, it feels like you're always evolving, you're always growing based off the experiences that you're around. I'm curious, what did success look like to you? What does success look like to you now, and how has it changed since you started?
Success is easy to get to than a lot of people think. And I tell people
Really?
this a lot. It's easier to get to than a lot of people think, because I tell people sometimes we put success on the highest of pedestals, to the point where it's like, oh, if I don't get to this, I'm not going to be a success. But you got to think about all those small things, all those little things you might overlook. That's a success. Like I say, I teach kids. So that one little kid that you may get their head off the desk to help you create, they'll take that thing and be a CEO of some company years from now, because they know that, oh, I am valuable, you know. So success can be, like I said, this is success. You know what I'm saying? Me opening my door, going to my gallery is a success, because you're making that effort. You're making an effort to create every day. You're making an effort to do what you love doing. You know, you're making an effort to connect to somebody else. And the young man I was telling you about, Amir, that's a success for him. I don't care if he's gonna create another piece of art. Guess what? It's been successful already. He's a successful artist already, just because he applied, he had a conversation, he put his artwork up, he made his mother happy. You know what I'm saying? That might be all that woman needs in life, to know that her son has found something to make him happy. You know what I'm saying? So success is all around us every day. And some of us struggle because we don't know. We tap right into it. It's right there. And the smallest things we do, we just got to be aware and present. And I think that's where a lot of people fall short on, just knowing that they are truly making an impact. You can hold a door for a lady getting on the bus or whatever. How do you do that? I don't know how you do that, but you know what I'm saying? But just helping that situation, you don't know how that can reflect the people that come after that. So, yeah.
Bryan, as you
I see
speak,
success every day. I see success every day.
but see, so that's the energy that I feel from you and those that are watching. Would you say that gratitude is a source for you, a constant source for you?
It's
Staying in a
gratitude.
state of gratitude?
Say that again.
Staying in a state of gratitude, because to be able to celebrate, if I want the top success, and what you're explaining to me is that it's in every moment, you need a certain type of perspective to be able
Yes.
to see that in every moment.
Yeah, you do need a certain kind of perspective. When it comes to gratitude, yeah, I'm definitely, yeah. It's a lot of gratitude and a lot of, and how I move. Um, I look at people now, and I look deeper than the surface when I talk to people now. It's like, this is what I noticed, Dion, I've been doing recently is people who I don't know asking these questions I wouldn't normally ask questions. Like, how was your day? Like, what do you do? Do you like doing it? You know, I start fishing more into people and like what they really think. I don't do things to be like, oh, you did a great job. I don't do things for any kind of accolades. I do them because I love them. You know what I'm saying? And when people say things to me like that was a great, you got to accept those things. You know what I'm saying? You got to be thankful for people even giving you any kind of thanks, because some people don't get that. You know what I'm saying, at all. So here's a story. Here's a personal story. So I'm sitting outside of the gallery, and this is what I do. I would just see some guy walk past one day, and I just said, "I like your shirt," because I did. Now I could have kept it to myself. And I'll tell you, a couple of days later, he came back and he said, "You know what? The other day, I apologize." I don't know why he was even apologizing to me. He said, "I apologize to me because you said I like your shirt," and I kept on going. I thought he said, "Thank you," but obviously he must have didn't. But he came back and apologized to me. Then we had a whole conversation about his art and what he wants to do. And he's like, "Yeah," I was like, I didn't even know. So it's like that gratitude. It just comes with being present. Like that's more than anything. And I just put that out there. And he came back, and then we started sharing stories, and we really connect. He said I was having a really rough day, man, that day, and you said that, and it just made my whole day. I said, wow. So yeah. So with me, it just comes with being present and being willing to share. If something looks nice, tell somebody that. You know what I'm saying? They might need to hear that. And that's what I've grown to start doing now. Is even if nobody tells me I did great today or you did a wonderful job, that's okay. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to be thankful for who you are, but also be willing to share. You know what I'm saying? You can give 100 compliments to people all throughout the city, and you can get none. But at the end of the day, I think that energy gonna come back in a different kind of way. And when it comes back, you gotta know when it comes back. It's like, oh yeah, I see.
Yeah, that you spoke of discernment early on, but as you continue to speak, you can see that it's a thread throughout. So that's clear.
Yeah.
I want to put on like the business hat because there's still some fundamentals that come with the business side of this, like trying to find, funding and resources can be a challenge for artists. Like what advice do you have to give to someone who wants to grow without losing their authenticity? Like you said, you show up as yourself. For others, that could be a challenge to getting what they need. So what advice do you have for those?
Yeah, it's a responsibility. I ain't gonna say and tell you like I'm having fun. Everything's fun. It's all fun. It's art. It's fun. It's a responsibility as a business owner. In this economy now, like it's a responsibility to keep the lights on, to pay the bills, to make your space accessible, to be happy going into what you love. I mean, we can start out as a business doing what we love, and some days we're not always happy in it. You know what I'm saying? I've been in the shop some days on the slowest of weeks and thinking like, yo, why am I doing this? You know what I'm saying? Like I can just be in my apartment drawing my pictures and trying to sell the way I want. Why am I trying to pay these bills for this building? And then you sit there and you contemplate all that, and then somebody comes in and they spend a whole bunch of money. And they love everything about your spot. You know what I'm saying? It's like, wow. Like this has happened. I've sat in my shop for hours and nobody came in. I'm looking at my artwork. And then a couple came in they out of state somewhere, a cool couple. And they came in, we talked for hours, and they purchased a lot of stuff. And it made me say, oh yeah, that's why I'm doing this. You know what I'm saying? For those kind of moments. And then I know it happens in a lot of businesses. I don't care whether it's the gallery or construction, like it happens. And like I said, it's a responsibility. And it's a responsibility to build relationships. Like I had relationships when I was 19 with business owners that didn't hit me and it didn't connect until I was in my late 30s, But it's about that's that bridge right there, and that's those connections. So as a business, you gotta build these partnerships. Like people look at me and think, oh, he painting these pictures, but I'm building partnerships. I'm trying to lock in for the long run. I'm trying to see how if I do this now, 3 months from now, will that contract renewed? You know what I'm saying? So you gotta start thinking to the future on all your moves. And the people you connect with, they gotta have that same thing in mind too, because some contracts ain't for you. You know what I'm saying? And yeah. So I try to build genuine relationships. I try to be like I said, you be your true self, and hopefully you get that true energy back. But also you gotta know when like, yeah, this ain't for me. You know what I'm saying? You gotta, yeah, and you gotta be patient. Like patience is a woo. You gotta be so patient. I know so many friends of mine who's given up, who stopped doing what they love. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta be in a situation where you gotta use other people who are better than you. You got people who
Mm.
can, yeah, like I ain't the best at everything. You got to be willing to accept that. You got to help people. Like I'm not the best with financing things. You got to put people in your corner. You have to build a team around you who can pull you up when you're down. You got to. I need people that can check me. And recently, I appreciate people say, "No, you ain't do that right, bro," or "You ain't say that right," or maybe you can do this. You need that as a business because you don't always have all the right answers. So being willing to juggle all those, build genuine connections, partnerships, that's what kind of kept this business going. When at one point all I thought I had to do is pop up and put stuff on tables and tents. It gets so much deeper than that now because people think art is it's hard to move art. You know what I'm saying? And you got to build a different revenue streams of creating and building these partnerships, and that's what I've been doing. Thank you.
Can I? You have what is coming up for
Everything.
you? What? We'll talk specifically about what's on the horizon for you. Where can people expect to see you? Even if you want to talk long-term vision, like, but what's next for Bryan Robinson?
Everything is next. It's what's next for us. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at it. Like I got a lot of people connected to me, so I'm trying to do things for people that's connected. So what's next for me? Expanding this business. I can see the brand in different states. I'm doing a lot of. I'm gonna be traveling very soon. I'm going to be operating more so in a sense of a gallerist. Trying to just bring in artists from different areas to know the beauty in Baltimore. Because like we can travel and go to LA, Miami, all that stuff. But guess what? It's so much culture and so much love here in Baltimore. And I'm trying to travel and bring artists here to let them know that we got something here as well. You know, so that's definitely on my horizon. Is to really let people know that we got something good here in Baltimore.
Right. I'm sorry to interrupt
I
you.
got more. I got more, Dion.
But no, but add this into it. What are people missing about Baltimore?
Oh, the realness. You know, the thing about Baltimore is if they see you doing something great, it's family oriented. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a culture here in Baltimore. Like how can I say it? You got if I'm out in the streets of Baltimore, it's a certain way Baltimore is carrying that itself. It's a certain rhythm here. If you go out of state and you start talking, you must. Oh, okay, yeah. Like they almost can recognize the Baltimore vibe. It's so much here. Like I'm looking out the window right now at all the beauty that's out here from the people, the city, of course the art, and it's just like we just carry ourselves a little different. The way we navigate is it's amazing. And a lot of people don't get that. You know, we get a lot of media portraying certain pictures when I couldn't pick a better city to be a part of than this city right here, you know, because it birthed me. And it gave me my vision and that genius that they talk about.
Genius. And I apologize for interrupting. It's just the fact of it's easy to say people miss X about Baltimore, but then they don't get specific. Like for the person who's not here and they're only going off of the images in the media,
Oh, yeah.
I feel there's a responsibility, like to paint a picture for them of what makes that grit and grace. What
Yeah,
is that?
it's beautiful. I'm tell you, I defend my city. I want to hear a story
Yes,
real
sir.
quick. So I'm sitting out in front of my gallery, and a lot of times people pull up and they want to know what's inside the gallery. They literally pull up like a McDonald's drive-through. So this guy, he's in the back seat, and he rolls the window down. He says, "What is this?" I said, "All right, girl." I'm sitting down looking across in the street at him. Like I said, "All right, girl. They're not going to park the car." He gonna ask me these questions. He asked me, "You got a card? You got a card?" I'm all out of cards. You know why I'm all out of cards? Because people love this space and they take all my cards. So I said, "I don't have a card." So me being the business owner, I'm trying to connect here, right? I ain't gonna sit down and keep talking to you, and I'm gonna get up and go and talk to you. So I get up, I go walk towards the car,
Really?
and he said, he's like, "You don't got no card?" I was like, "No, I don't have no card." I'm trying to tell him I'm getting all the card information you need out of my mouth. He tells me, typical Baltimore. he said, typical Baltimore, and shook his head as in disgust. I said, first of all, I was about to walk right away from him. I said, you know what? I said, I don't know what that means. I said, I don't know what that means. He couldn't even explain it. He couldn't even explain it. And at that point, he wants to show me his social media. He said, yeah, man, because you don't know who I am. I could blah, 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 blah. At this point, he could have been a millionaire ready to go there and spend $1 million. I wouldn't even accept that money right there. I wouldn't even want that money because already the connection is gone. You talk about the city that birthed me, the city that made me who I am, and you say typical Baltimore, then guess what? You ain't the typical person I want to deal with. So in the process of him showing me his phone, yeah. In the process of him showing me his phone, he was, look at all these viewers I got. I'm like, he said, you should follow me. I said, all right, look, follow. The moment he pulled away, unfollow. Don't care who he was. And that's what I do for my city. And that's what Baltimore is. You know what I'm saying? If you can't respect the city I'm from, then you can't respect my art. You can't respect nothing inside this building. So, yeah. That's how I feel about my city. You know
Don't get me started, yes, Bryan.
Yeah. So that's what I'm trying to do going forward is to have more experiences where I defend my city and do this art. Yeah.
Well, I need you to go out there and be fruitful and multiply, my friend, please.
Hey, you know me. Sorry, that didn't trigger me right there. That didn't trigger me playing around with me.
We're going to breathe.
All right, back to business.
So, and you know, and that's the thing, back to business. So the reason that we hold these conversations is, one, to be able to highlight people like you in the city of Baltimore, but then also explain to people how they can support you, because it's infectious. So Bryan, how do people financially back you, support your vision?
I'm in the streets. I'm in the streets of Baltimore, okay? We are located 106 North Utah, downtown Baltimore. We are accessible 12 to 7. I mean, guess what? We are accessible 24/7, tell you the truth. Because you want to find me, ask somebody, find my mother, she on Wolf Street. If you want to support, come through there. Look at some art. I didn't even say buy the stuff. You can come through, just share your presence with us. But yeah, you can definitely come in there. You know, you can patronize the gallery. You can buy art. You want to do donations, and all that is welcome with me, okay? I can't put Cash App and stuff in here too, but you can find me. Google the Black Genius Art Show. See what we're doing, what kind of shows we have coming up. We have other artists who are trying to, you know, create, put things out there. Come on now. We easy. theblackgeniusartshow.com, at theblackgeniusartshow.com. What else you need?
Receive.
Know.
Bryan,
if you're a business or corporation, you want some social media, you want some good energy, I'm gonna give you the same stuff. Come on now, you connect. Come on now. I ain't playing no games. I'm serious about it.
You can see it on your face, Bryan.
Yeah,
okay.
I can fix my eyebrow. I'm still on the typical Baltimore. Let me fix my
No,
face.
you are. I can feel it. I
don't play those games with people. I don't care who you are. You're gonna put this out there, right? Let everybody see this.
Nothing.
See, this is Baltimore. We can smile like this, but you still get that area where we from. Okay? Don't play no games. I like doing art, but I'm from Wolf Street, Lambell Federal, 600 block Wolf Street. All right, I'm sorry.
On that note, Bryan, is there anything? Let's say that right now you do have
hashtag my be more. Sorry.
All right. So as we end, Bryan, you are literally standing in front of every resident, business owner, lottie-dottie, everybody in Baltimore.
Yeah.
What message would you like to send to them today?
First of all, I'm gonna be dancing. First of all, it ain't gonna be no uptight type of thing. I'll be dancing a little bit. I'm gonna let them know this city is the most beautiful city I've ever experienced a day in my life. We gotta share. We gotta be willing to connect. You know what I'm saying? Because it's patches. One thing about Boston, you got patches. Just like the neighborhoods, you got patches of creatives. You got patches of different people. We gotta stop all the patches. We gotta come together and make it one fluid thing. That's all it is. It's about just being fluid with it. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no gates. Ain't no. You know what I'm saying? Take down the gates. Take down the walls. Let's all connect. It's a responsibility. In order to change communities, you gotta connect. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be comfortable everywhere you go. And art is the piece that can do that in every community. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But if I gotta be the one to do that, let me be the one to do it. I call myself the prime minister of arts and culture. ... You know what that means? The ... means no matter where I'm at. If I go to Chicago, I'm gonna say I'm the prime minister of arts and culture, because that's what I stand on. And that's what we need here in Baltimore. Somebody that's gonna be transparent, make all the connections, no hidden agendas, and just make everybody love each other. It's all about love. Might be more. Come on now, let's stop playing games.
On that note, we are done. I have never, you've closed this thing out like nobody's business, Bryan. I'm serious. All right, so and
it's typical Baltimore. It's typical Baltimore.
We done. Peace. We'll see you soon. Hashtag my Be More Project. What's the 410 with Bryan Robinson, the Black Genius Art Show? You know what it is. Ooh.
Me, your mom, and your cousin too. It's for everybody. Let's go.
I just want you to be great. I just want you to be great. I just want you to be great. Even if it means you gotta leave me, and you don't wanna be baby. Look, baby, I'm straight. I just want you to be great. I just want you to be great. I just want you to be great.